It is finally happening as the Lakers put together another solid all-around team game led by their stars, also with an influx of help from a player we haven't seen from in quite some time, and a new starter who played his role to a T, and the role players that truly starred in their roles as the Lakers get their 5th win in their past 6 games. What's good? I'm Okechi Apakama, and this is Lakers Digest coming at you with another video. And before we get into that game recap we have for you guys, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to get those Laker updates. And we are pushing towards our goal of 5,000 subscribers before the end of the month. So each and every one of you guys who subscribe to the channel really help out. Now, with that out of the way, let's hop straight into that game recap as the Lakers defense shines once again. So the Lakers started off their longest road trip of the year, the Grammy road trip, and they were playing their rivals, the Golden State Warriors, and they had a very good defensive game, winning that one 118-108. And yes, they were led by their stars, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but they had some very nice showing from all of their role players, especially a player that we haven't seen in quite some time in Jarred Vanderbilt, and the new starter, Dorian Finney-Smith, who started for Hachimura, who was out with calf soreness. So they were both great in their game. So let's hop straight into those stats and see what it was like for the Lakers, as Anthony Davis led the way with 36 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, did a very good job of getting to the free throw line because nobody on the Warriors could guard him. And then LeBron James, 25 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds. So he had a very solid game. Austin Reaves, 16 points, 7 assists, 5 assists. He shot the ball well, going 6 of 10 from the field. And then their role players, Finney-Smith, who started in place of Rui Hachimura, had 8 points, had a couple of threes, and was a team lead plus 12 in the plus minus department. Max Christie, who did a very solid job on Stephen Curry, had 11 points, a couple of threes, and 8 rebounds. And then off the bench, the Lakers had some nice contributions. Dalton Knecht had 13 points in that one, 3 3-pointers. Gabe Vincent did not shoot the ball particularly well, but he did have some nice defensive sequences against Steph Curry. And then Jarred Vanderbilt, who we have not seen play a basketball game in a calendar year, had a very solid game for the first game that he's played in quite some time, with a +6 on the floor, 3 steals, 4 rebounds, and a couple of assists. So Jarred Vanderbilt came back to play, and he seemed like he almost didn't miss a beat in some spots, and that was really encouraging to see, especially with the Lakers down a forward with Rui Hachimura out with calf soreness. But Vanderbilt stepped in there, and for a guy who hasn't played a game in quite some time, looked really good. And some of the things that he brought to this Laker team are some of the things that they truly need. But let's get to another guy that I want to talk about, was Dorian Finney-Smith, who was inputted into that starting lineup, and he really played that starting role well for the Lakers, as being not only that guy that can guard a multitude of positions, but also being a guy reliable enough to knock down some corner threes, which is what he did. So Dorian Finney-Smith implementing himself into that starting lineup was very nice to see. Guys like Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Austin Reaves were finding guys like Finney-Smith, Max Christie, Dalton Knecht in these corners. The Lakers shot their best they had all season from the corners, hitting 8 3-pointers in the corner. So the Lakers had a very nice showing, team effort, and they really held down the Golden State Warriors, who can be a very potent offense when a guy like Steph Curry can get going. But the Lakers did a very good job on him, especially in that second half there. So taking a look at the Warriors stats, Andrew Wiggins did have a nice game, had 20 points, but was only 1 for 6 from 3. Stephen Curry shot 4 for 17. Very uncharacteristic for a guy like him. He did have 9 assists, but the Lakers did a pretty solid job guarding him with a myriad of guys. Buddy Hield did not get going, was only 2 for 8 from 3. And then off the bench there, they did have a nice game from Podzimski, and Schroeder had a nice first half. But besides that, the Warriors did not have too much offense to combat the Laker offense, and also the Laker defense, because they at some points were really stifling the Warriors with some of the lineups they threw out there, especially when you have a guy like Jarred Vanderbilt that you can just throw into some of these lineups, and he can really beef up the defense for the Lakers. There was a time where the Lakers played Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Anthony Davis, and that was a real lockdown group right there. As all of those guys are flying around, they have a lot of switchability in between them, and they were led on the offensive end by Anthony Davis because he had a tremendous game scoring the basketball. And this is the type of things that Anthony Davis needs. He needs help on the defense, on the backboards, and those are the type of guys that are currently on this roster that can help him do those things and facilitate those things. Because, like I said, a team like the Warriors, they can be very potent at times, especially when you have Steph Curry on the floor. They can really go on some flurries and some runs, but the Lakers did a tremendous job from start to finish, really, for keeping the Golden State Warriors down offensively. The game was pretty close there in that first half. The Lakers only had a 1-point lead at halftime, but the third quarter, the Lakers were able to create some separation there, and then in that fourth quarter, they really tightened the screws as they were able to shut down essentially the Warriors offense, and they were able to do some stuff on the offensive end as well. So this is just a very nice game for the Lakers to see, and a very good start to their long road trip, as this is a very important road trip, because if the Lakers can come away with a winning record off of this road trip, then they can be a very prime spot in the Western Conference. But that gets me to my next point here. Next thing I wanted to talk about, as Vando looked good in his return. So Jarred Vanderbilt, like I said, he hadn't played in an entire calendar year the last time he played. And JJ Redick also said something about Vando and how he played. And he said that he was doing the things that he could control and did exactly what the team needed to do. And he also said that it kind of seemed like Vanderbilt was holding back on them a little bit because he was practicing a little bit before, but he didn't look this good. This was from JJ Redick's mouth. So seeing Jarred Vanderbilt really be an impact player for the Lakers. I mean, just check out these stats or these plays from Jarred Vanderbilt and just the stuff that he can add value to this team. So this is Vando on the offensive end, and a lot of people say like, oh, there's not too much offensive utility with a guy for Vando, but he can be a guy that can be a very solid passer, especially in that short roll there. He's able to find Finney-Smith for a corner three, which is a very comfortable shot for him. So he was solid here in this play. And then literally the very next play, this was Jarred Vanderbilt coming down, making a defensive play. These are the things that we're accustomed to seeing him doing there, as he got in the middle of that passing lane there and was able to get LeBron a free, easy, and clear layup. So these are the type of plays that we're missing from the Lakers, and having Jarred Vanderbilt on the floor is just going to bring back those type of plays and lead to those type of situations for the Lakers, just getting them out into early offense and getting them some easy points. So Jarred Vanderbilt can create offense based off his defense, because that guy is a defensive playmaker. He can be a guy that can create a lot of steals. He can get block shots. He can do a lot of things. He can break up plays. He's got very good defensive awareness, and he also communicates defensively, so that really helps out. So having him back in the lineup was key for the Lakers. I know he only played 12 minutes, but those 12 minutes were very impactful for them. And although he only shot a corner three one time and missed that shot, and he only had 2 points, but he was very impactful. And that's the type of impact that we need from a guy like Jarred Vanderbilt, just doing those intangible things that you don't see that come up in the box score. Dorian Finney-Smith is another guy like that as well. Yes, he can hit a corner three. That's the difference between him and Vando, but he was also be able to create those defensive plays, and then it's just almost like a force multiplier, because there were times on the floor where there was Max Christie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Jarred Vanderbilt all on the floor together, and those guys can really wreak havoc. Just those guys can just be tremendous in their switchability, their versatility. They can do a lot of different things for you. They can rebound for you. So having all of those guys really come together and help lock up a guy like Steph Curry tonight, because like I said, he only had 13 points, 4 of 17 from the field, and only 2 of 9 from 3. And that is due in large part to that Laker defense and that kind of four-headed monster that is starting to grow. It's Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and Dorian Finney-Smith. All of those guys contributed nicely to the Lakers and helped them win this game here. And it now leaves a big question for the Lakers and our last topic here as maybe one too many forwards, as Rui Hachimura did not play in this game. And for some, this could be the writing on the wall, because if Jarred Vanderbilt can get back his conditioning and get back into game shape and be able to play some more minutes and be able to contribute more things for the Lakers, would there be a need for a guy like Rui Hachimura? That is an open question that is probably going to play itself out here on this road trip, as we're going to see Vanderbilt play here in a couple games. Yes, he's going to be on a minutes restriction because he hasn't played basketball in quite some time, and I don't believe he is going to play the back-to-backs, but just having him there on the line, that presence changes so much for the Lakers, and he adds a dimension that not many players on this team can do. Yes, a guy like Cam Reddish can do little things that Vando can do, but not to his level. Vando, when healthy, I think can be an all NBA level defender. That's how good he can be. So that's why it adds many questions, because you have a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith, who is a proven player in the playoffs and has done it before for other teams. So you trust that guy. And then you have Jarred Vanderbilt, who is a defensive Swiss Army knife, can do a lot of things for you. And then you have Rui Hachimura, who can be a very good 3-level scorer, can have his mishaps here and there on defense, but if you put him in the certain right spots to be successful, then he can do the things that you ask him for, because he's a big-bodied individual and can use that strength when he can. So there's going to be some questions here for JJ Redick on who to play where or who to play when. I think it's going to be more matchup dependent, and there is definitely going to be some fights for minutes here, because all of these guys can contribute different things for the Lakers, and they all can add something to the Lakers that each one of these players do not have, that their skills that overlapped. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think there is going to be a logjam now with Dorian Finney-Smith, Jarred Vanderbilt, and Rui Hachimura, and you still have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who are going to play a multitude of games for you guys at that 4 and 5 positions? So where are those minutes going to come from? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. And then just one more thing for us, guys. There is about 89% of y'all who recently watched our videos and are not yet subscribed to the channel just yet. And if you guys want more of that Laker news, Laker updates, trade rumors, game recaps, just every and all things LA Lakers, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest so you don't miss any of that action. All right, I've been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.